Hello friends, welcome to the first tutorial video of GCSE Electronics. So in the previous videos we have discussed about electronic systems and subsystems. In this video we will discuss about the GCSE exam questions related to this topic. So basically you will get two types of questions from this electronic subsystems and systems. The first type of question that you may get in the GCSE exam is you will be given with several units, right? Something like temperature sensing unit, motor unit, and so many other type of sensors, processors, and the outputs, right? And you will have to match them. You will have to tell if those units they are input or output or processor units. Now this question may be either match the following, right? Something like this one, or you may get it as fill in the blanks. So you will be given with the input. You will have to mention whether the temperature sensing unit is input unit or processor unit or output unit, right? So it may come up as fill up the blanks, match the following, or some other form. But this is a very typical questions which can be asked in your GCSE exam. So let's have a look at this question. All electronic systems can be broken down into three main system blocks: input, processor, and output. Link the unit on the left to their system block on the right. One has been done for you. So the first one has already been done for you, right? So temperature sensing unit, it's obviously a input unit. Okay, now you would have to match the remaining. So motor unit, what do you think it will be? Motor, right? So motor is used to drive the fan or something, right? So it is basically an output unit. Similarly, latch unit, right? So latch, if you remember from the last video, it keeps the output on indefinitely or until a reset pin is pressed or reset button is pressed. Okay, so it is a processor unit. Solenoid unit. Solenoid unit is an output unit. Okay, you might remember from one of the videos from the previous video, it's used to control the flow of water in the pipe. So it provides a linear motion along X and Y direction. Now moisture sensing unit, it is obviously an input unit, isn't it? And the last one, OR gate. So OR gate, these are basically used, any gate, AND gate, OR gate, these are the processor unit, right? So you would get 1 mark for each correct link. Okay, so altogether it is of 5 marks. So this is an actual GCSE electronics question from 2022. Okay, so those tables which I have explained in the slides or in the previous videos, if you remember them, it will be very helpful. The next type of question which you may get in the GCSE exams is to fill out the block diagram or to make this block diagram. Now again you would get or you may get different this question in different style. So for example, in 2022 they have changed a little bit, they have changed the style, and now in this question they have asked you to identify the error. Okay, they have asked to comment on this block diagram, and basically there is some error in the block diagram and you have to identify that error. So let us read the question. The following block diagram shows a burglar alarm designed to protect a small business property. The specification of the alarm is as follows. There are 2 entry doors to the property to be protected. So you have the rear door and the front door. When the front door is opened, a 30-second delay should be started to allow the owner time to turn off the alarm when entering the building before the alarm is triggered, right? So from the front door there should be a delay, right? There should be a 30-second delay so that the owner can enter into the property and turn off the alarm. When the rear door is opened, the alarm should be triggered immediately. So right away, if you read the question and compare the block diagram, this delay unit should be here in the front door, isn't it? So delay unit, it causes a delay in the output, right? A fixed delay. So that fixed delay is required, that 30-second delay is required at the front door, not at the rear door. So the rear door, the alarm should be triggered immediately. Okay, so that's one of the errors which you can immediately find. The alarm siren pulse on and off continuously once triggered. So this siren or buzzer or this alarm should be turned on and off, right? It should create a pulse sound, right? Continuously once it is triggered. Okay. So we should connect the siren to a pulse generator, right? So if you remember from the previous video, we discussed about pulse generator. So pulse generator should it generate this type of a signal, right? So that should be connected to the siren. Now if either door is closed after being opened, the alarm should continue to sound. Okay, so again there should be some kind of a latch or something to store the data, right? So latch should be connected here so that your siren or alarm, it sounds continuously even if the door is closed, okay, after opening, right? So evaluate the design against the specification and if necessary suggest any modification needed to meet the specification fully. So you have to evaluate. So evaluation would include the good points and the limitations or the missing parts, both. Okay, so obviously you should find out the good points, that is both the sensors, they have a both the doors have a sensor, right, which is required, which is a plus point, right? And we have already identified, I think, three limitations or problems in this block diagram. Okay, so let's have a look at the solution here. So design correctly has two sensors on each door, right? So that's the good part. The delay unit, however, has been attached to the rear door instead of the front door. This will delay the start of the alarm when the rear door is opened instead of immediate trigger. Also, with no delay on the front door, the alarm would sound immediately. Right? So this contradicts the specification as we have discussed. The delay unit therefore needs to be removed to the or moved to the front door instead of the rear or back door. So the pulse generator will produce a siren which switches on and off continuously. Right? So that's a good part. If the door are closed after they are opened, the alarm will stop sounding, right? Because you don't have a latch or something connected here. Okay. The block diagram needs a latch to keep the alarm sounding once it has been triggered and to provide a method of resetting the alarm. The latch should be placed between the output of the OR gate, right here, output of the OR gate and the input of the AND gate. So between the OR and the AND gate, a latch should be connected. Now, I have taken another question from GCSE 2021. Okay, so this question is of 3 marks. So again, in this question, as you can see, you are given with several types of units and you have to fill in this table. So basically you have to select the units which are given and you have to fill the table and decide if it is an input or processing subsystem or output subsystem. Okay, so I have already done it for you. So OR gate is a processing subsystem, right? The transistor switching unit, it is again a processor or a processing subsystem. Buzzer unit is a output subsystem. Temperature sensing unit, it's a input subsystem. Delay unit, it is again a processing subsystem. Switch unit, so switch is an input subsystem. Light sensing unit, so light is different and light sensing unit, it is an input which senses light. Okay. Solenoid unit, it is your output unit. Comparator unit, it is a processing subsystem, right? Now the second part of this question is again a block diagram. Okay, so basically you are given with, you have to design this block diagram, right? You are given with some units or subsystems here. So you can use OR gate, temperature sensing unit, light sensing unit, and all these. Okay, and basically you have to design a highway agency is using battery operated flashing light on traffic cone, right? So you have to design this thing, right? So on the traffic cone you have a battery operated flashing light to warn the oncoming traffic, right? So there is some road work going on some roads, and they have put a cone with a flashing light. So you have to design a block diagram for this flashing light. Okay, so what are the specification? Light should flash on and off to alert drivers of the roadworks. To preserve battery life, the light should flash only when it gets dark and stop when it gets light. Okay, so this light, it should only flash during night or when it is dark. Okay, so from the subsystems, I think we will need the light sensing unit as one of the inputs. There should be a test switch that allows worker to test the light during the daytime, right? So there should be some test button which the workers can press to test this light even during the daytime. Okay, so we may need a switch unit, right? A button which the workers can press to test this light, right? Now the working of some of the sensing or the input units, they are given here. So the moisture sensing unit output logic 1 when it is wet. We don't need the moisture sensing unit. Light sensing unit output logic 1 when it is dark. Okay, so accordingly we will have to use the correct gate. Okay, so the output of light sensing unit will be 1 when it is dark. The temperature sensing unit, again we don't need that in this question, right? We only have to operate this light based on the whether it is dark or night time. Okay, so we will only use the light sensing unit. Okay, so basically you have to select the correct subsystem to complete the block diagram design. The question is of 6 marks. So the first thing what you can do is identify the correct input sensing unit and the output, right? So in this question the output is already given, the lamp unit. Okay, so lamp unit is already there. The only thing is we need to select the input sensing unit. So we have already selected the light sensing unit and the switch which can be used to test this light. Okay, so both of these, they will be my input units. Now I will need a pulse generator because the light should flash on and off, right? So it should flash. So for flashing the light I need a pulse generator. Now from the previous question we need to use a latch unit. Okay, so it should flash continuously, right? Now when it is dark, the output of the light sensing unit will be 1. Okay, and when the switch is on, the test switch, it will produce an output or logic 1. Okay, so in that case if we use OR gate, so what does OR gate do? So either input A or B or both they are 1, then your output will be 1. Okay, so if it is dark or you are testing the light, or both, right? The output of this OR gate will be 1. Okay. Now this latch unit, it will store the output and keep the lamp on, right? The transistor switch turns on the lamp on and off according to the pulse generator. Okay, so we were given with the processing unit. We are given with comparator, so we can't use that. There is no reference signal, right? Yeah, so the only thing which we can use from the given components is the transistor switch unit. So transistor, it acts like a electronic switch. Okay, and it will operate the lamp unit. Okay, so these components which are highlighted in this box below, we don't need them. Okay, now similarly, I have another question from 2020, right? So again, if you see, you have to identify whether these given units, they are input processor or output subsystems, right? So this you can do it yourself. So this is the end of this tutorial video. Thank you very much for watching this video and hope to see you in the next video.